Hi there, good evening and welcome to this edition of News Tonight with me, Bernice, Abu-Baidoo. We are coming to you live from the Platinum Place here at Ridge in Accra via technology using the power of social media wherever you are in the world. You can also access us. Let's take a look at our headlines. Yoko Board Chairman Daniel Yao-Domelovo dares former AG and counsel of sacked CJ Ni Ayiko Otu to provide evidence of appointment letter of Gertrude Tokonu as he accuses him of presenting fake evidence to probe committee.
Produce the appointment letter of the Chief Justice that he brought to the committee for the public to digest it.
Also, Ashanti Region MPP Chairman Bernard Entry Boisiakon to spend the night at the CID headquarters as his lawyers work to execute bail terms after he was rearrested and charged for breaching mining laws following his appearance at the High Court in Accra in a separate case.
At this time, we are not able to secure the release of the accused persons.
Tonight in the bulletin, we'll critique efforts by the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat to clamp down illegal miners in the country. Good progress or more is needed. We'll be live with environmental CSOs and the Lands Ministry. And in business, Bank of Ghana urges commercial banks to further reduce their lending rates to support businesses and stimulate economic growth.
Expect further improvement as banks realign their pricing models to reflect the easing stance.
On the international front, Madagascar's embattled president names Army General as Prime Minister to quell Gen Z protests. Kindly stay with me as I bring you details of these stories and more. Let's take a look at our stories tonight. An Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Entry Boisiakon, will spend the night in police custody as his lawyers work to meet his bail conditions. Popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, he pleaded not guilty to some charges leveled against him and 4 others over alleged illegal mining activities in the Tano Nimre Forest Reserve at Samreboy in the Western region. Now, this comes just hours after he appeared in a separate case earlier today. He was placed on a stop list and granted 15 million cedi bail after pleading not guilty to 6 mining-related charges. Obed Kingaglo was in court and reports.
Busy day here at the Accra High Court, where Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Entry Boisiakon, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, appeared to respond to some charges leveled against him. 2 different cases were heard here at the Accra High Court. The first case in regard to the assignment of mineral rights without approval, contrary to Section 14, Clause 1 and Section 99, Clause 2B of the Minerals and Mining Act 2006, Act 703, as amended by Section 3 of the Minerals and Mining Amendment Act 2019, Act 995. And the second case in regards to undertaking mining operations without a license, contrary to Section 99, Clause 2A of the Minerals and Mining Act 2006, Act 703, as amended by Section 3 of the Minerals and Mining Act 2019, Act 995. Our Chairman Wontumi pleaded not guilty to both charges with a different count. With the various counts, Chairman Wontumi was granted bail. With his first case with regards to the assignment of minerals rights without approval, Chairman Wontumi was granted bail to the sum of 15 million Ghana cedis with 3 sureties, one to be justified with a landed property. And then to the second case, the Ashanti Regional Chairman Bernard Entry Boisiakon was granted 10 million cedis bail with 2 sureties, one to be justified. At the end of the court, his lead counsel, Andy Appiah-Kubi had this to say.
We are working on the executing the bail conditions. We are currently working with the registrar of the court. Unfortunately, at this time, we are not able to secure the release of the accused persons for reason that the police will have to go and inspect their houses, the sureties, the houses of the sureties, and come back and give a report before the registrar could execute the bail bonds.
Though the two cases, as presided by Her Ladyship Justice Audrey Kwakuvite and Her Ladyship Ruby Aite, granted bail to Chairman Wontumi, he will be in police custody as his lawyers work to meet his bail condition. From the Accra High Court, Obed Kingaglo for GHOne News.
And I've been joined by Obed Kingaglo. He's been keenly monitoring this particular story, touching base with lawyers for Chairman Wontumi. We understand that he'll be spending the night at the CID headquarters. So, Obed, tell us, his lawyers have concerns about the bail conditions. But before you go into that, were there any issues raised about his rearrest? Did the lawyers feel like a surprise was sprung on them, or they were silent on that?
Yes. Lawyer Appiah-Kubi was surprised about the second case because as at the time they were just working to meet the bail condition of the first case. And for us, even journalists, though we knew that there would be a second case, we thought that because of the time, it will be deferred.
And what time was this?
It was around, the first case ended around 2:30. And so we thought that looking at the time, they would defer it to another day. But we waited only to be told that the second case will also be heard. And so we went back into court where the second case was heard. And then at the time the second case was being heard, it was somewhere around 4:30. And court will close by that time. And so certainly Chairman Wontumi was whisked away into the CID headquarters. I must say that, of course, he's been granted bail. First case, 50 million cedis, second case, 10 million cedis. But for the first case, he's been put on red list, meaning that he cannot travel. The conditions are that 3 sureties, 1 to be justified with landed property. And the second phase, 10 million cedis, 2 sureties, 1 just to be justified. For this particular conditions, the lawyer for Bernard Entry Boisiako and the Appiah-Kubi feels that, though of course the court had listened to their prayer because they prayed the courts for bail. Of course, the Deputy Attorney General did not oppose bail, but he introduced something that brought to the attention of the court that the person we are talking about is well to do and can flee the country at any time. And so they should put some conditions in place to make sure that he does not flee, a reason why he was put on red list. But his lawyer feels that that is too much of a punishment. I must say that for the second phase, the judge said that, okay, you can travel, but still bring your passport. If you want to travel, come to the court, we'll give you your passports. We'll ask you some questions, but definitely we'll give you your passport. But for the first court, you cannot travel at all. He feels that
which means that
the bail conditions are much of a punishment, and he spoke to us after the courts saying that there should be a national conversation when it comes to bail conditions that are given to accused persons.
It is a general situation that we have to address as a country. You see, the Criminal Procedure Code, Section 96(4), says that bail should not be used as punishment on the accused persons. We did that articulation in court. The court took into consideration that admonition of the system. But because the precedent doesn't favor otherwise of treating accused persons fairly and without consideration of what they have alleged to have committed, and also making it difficult for them to be able to discharge their responsibility to secure the bail. It's a national issue that we need to discuss and accept. It's becoming too many that accused persons are being subjected to a difficulty of finding value for properties that will secure their bail. It is a national issue that we need to discuss.
I've got Obed still with me. He's just going to tell us when next Chairman Wontumi is expected in court.
Right. So for the first case, he's expected to be back in court on the 28th of this month. And then for the second case, he's expected to come back on the 4th of next month. So basically, those are the dates for the next hearing of the cases.
Obed Kingaglo was our man in court today, bringing us updates on the cases involving the NPP's Chairman Wontumi. Now, the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMAS, has carried out a major raid on Gangway. That's a notorious illegal mining and crime enclave at Abosso in the Presiahuni Valley district of the Western region. Thick smoke billowed over the community as security personnel set ablaze dozens of wooden shanties known to be hideouts for illegal miners, drug peddlers, and gamblers. According to NIMAS, the swoop led to the arrest and surrender of hundreds of residents, many suspected to be engaging in galamsey and related criminal activities. The team also seized narcotic substances, including 11 wraps suspected to be Indian hemp, exposing the link between illegal mining and drug trafficking in the area. The latest operation follows a June 2025 warning to miners and criminal gangs to vacate the Gangway area, a directive they ignored despite repeated appeals from traditional authorities. In a related operation, NIMAS extended the crackdown to the Dadring dumping stretch in the Takwa Nsua municipality, where 15 water pumping machines, a generator, and 3 changfangs were seized and destroyed as part of government's intensified war on galamsey. Still on illegal mining, the Eastern Regional Minister, Rita Akosua-Ejayawate, has given all MMDCEs in her region a 2-week ultimatum to profile all miners and their financiers in the jurisdiction. The directive seeks to identify legitimate miners operating in line with mining and environmental regulations and to clamp down on those engaged in illegal mining, especially along river bodies and in forest reserves. The minister issued the directive during a meeting on October 6, which brought together MMDCEs, constituency executives, and other key stakeholders.
District Chief Executive to go out into their community to profile all mining centers. They should profile the owners of the mining centers. I've also charged them to give a 2-week notice to every miner that the water areas are no-go areas, that the forest areas are no-go areas. Anybody who flouts such a notice is going to face the law. We have laws that bind or that govern mining. We should make sure we enforce such laws. We should make sure we let everybody in the area know that there is a regulation on mining, and it is what the government of Ghana has given to us, and that is what we are doing.
Let's have a quick conversation on the latest events surrounding the fight against galamsey. And I've been joined by Awula Sewa. She is with pro-environmentalist group Eco-Conscious Citizens. I'm grateful for your time this evening, Awula. And government has assured that it is working hard to deal with galamsey on all fronts. So you talk about advocacy, you talk about raiding and arrest, you talk about even plans to try and decontaminate or dechemicalize water bodies that have been contaminated. Your quick thoughts on these series of activities and announcements that have been made after your engagement with the president?
Well, one can say that some steps are being taken. We have to commend NAMOS for some of the successes that have taken place. But what one wants to also see is the benchmarks for what success in this fight against illegal mining is like. A lot of work is being done. Nobody is denying them. But one is also looking at the magnitude of the problem. The magnitude of the problem. We've lost it so late. Our waters are contaminated. Our forest reserves decimated. Farmlands destroyed. Babies being born deformed. Maternal death. And now, the number of kidney disease cases has gone up fourfold because we eat our food stuff. So the problem is great. So what one is saying is that yes, a lot of work is being done. It's enough. Are we able to get out of this catastrophe without a state of emergency so that we master all the resources at our disposal to deal swiftly and robustly with the cancer? Like a house burning, the fire is getting out of control.
Hello, Sawa. Hello, Sawa, can you hear me? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, your line is getting a bit dodgy, so I'm losing bits and pieces of what you're saying. Are you saying that are you saying that you're satisfied, but you want to see more?
Well, I would say we're satisfied. We are on the verge of an ecological catastrophe. One can be contributed or satisfied. Fires are raging in so many different places. Fires are raging in different places. What have you? Farmland, forest reserves, what have you? Fires are raging. Yes, work is being done. The issue is that is it sufficient?
Hello, Sawa.
Magnitude problem.
Hello, Sawa. Can you hear me? Sincere apologies. It's been raining quite a lot in Accra. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with the quality in the phone lines this evening. Sincere apologies to you as well, listening at home. We'll try and get Sewa Awola in subsequent bulletins so we can hear her direct thoughts on the activities that have been executed and the arrests that have been made. We also know that some people appeared in court today for destroying a rail line as a result of their illegal mining activity. So we'll be boxing all of that together and bringing you more thoughts on that in subsequent programs and bulletins. But it's now time for Insight. On Insight tonight, board chairman of the Economic and Organized Crime Office, that's GHOne, and member of the committee that investigated petitions against former Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornee, has accused legal counsel for the dismissed CJ Aiko Otu of submitting fake documents during the committee's proceedings. Speaking to talk show host Kweku Sentim Misa, Mr. Domelovo expressed disappointment at Mr. Otu's recent criticisms of the committee and his allegations of procedural breaches. He disclosed that one of the documents presented was purportedly signed by the Judicial Secretary claiming to appoint the Chief Justice, a process he described as irregular, raising serious doubts about its authenticity.
Well, being an experienced lawyer, I expected him to know that yes, he provided evidence to us. We have to verify the evidence. We don't just take the evidence you have given to us. We are not idiots. You don't just give us anything and assume that we are going to take it. I want to put it on record that he provided us with evidence that were fake. Some of the evidence he provided us, as far as that financial issue is concerned,
they were fake. They had been manufactured.
If he doubts me, I challenge him to produce the appointment letter of the Chief Justice that he brought to the committee for the public to digest it. It will interest you to know that it is the junior of the Chief Justice, the Judicial Secretary, who appointed the Chief Justice.
How is that?
Yes, that letter he produced is signed by the Judicial Secretary appointing a Chief Justice. And apart from the heading of the document, which says appointment letter, there is no resemblance of appointment in the body of the letter. It's one of the evidence he produced just to make an argument. I don't believe it is authentic. Even if it is authentic, it is wrong. It is not the right document. Because the appointment of the Chief Justice per the Constitution is by the President, not the Judicial Service. To me, that document is fake.
Well, thankfully, we've gotten lawyer GHOne on the line to respond to this public dare, if I may say, from Mr. Domelovo for him to prove the source of those documents and to prove that they're indeed not fake. I'm grateful for your time this evening, lawyer GHOne. So I'm pretty sure you've heard Mr. Domelovo talk about some documents that you submitted before the committee that was probing petitions for the removal of the CJ. What do you have to say to those claims?
We are just surprised that somebody understanding Domelovo, unless he's just trying to play politics and misbehaving. Everybody saw the Chief Justice being sworn in at the Jubilee House and being given a warrant. So can that letter be the warrant that the Chief Justice gave? You are trying to find out the conditions of service of the individual. I kept talking about spending officer. In every organization, there's a spending officer. That person's duty is to ensure that the budgetary allocations are applied for the specific items for which they have been given. So that if there is an appropriation, they will be held liable. That's the spending officer. And in this matter, after the appointment, the spending officer, who is also the Judicial Secretary, wrote showing the Chief Justice conditions of service. Now you are saying that she was not entitled to travel. And she said, I have a letter from the spending officer, who is the Judicial Secretary, which states what my conditions of service are, which includes 2 travels in a year. We tender that one. And you are saying that that is fake. What is the meaning of that?
Now,
how can that be a fake letter? Was that the one which appointed there? Was that the one when she was being appointed? Didn't Domelovo say it on television?
Lawyer GHOne, he specifically made reference to this letter signed by the Judicial Secretary. He says that it was a letter of appointment signed by the Secretary.
I've explained. If you want me to explain again, say so. I've explained again. Already. So I don't know what question you're asking. I've explained the circumstances of that letter.
Lawyer, I perfectly heard you, but I'm only trying to clarify here that Mr. Domelovo made reference to some documents on the former Chief Justice's travels and narrowed it to a certain appointment letter. I am only asking that, are you addressing all of them as one?
Yes, that is what I've just asked to do. That they are trying to find out whether she had the right to travel and to travel with any other person like the husband and the daughter, and if those persons are also entitled to per diem. And these were all contained in travel policies and a letter which was sent to by the Judicial Secretary. So that letter was sent for the purpose of showing what entitlements were. That is all. It's not that is the letter which appointed her. And if Domelovo knows better, he knows, and everybody in this country saw the appointment on television. So this one cannot be the appointment letter. What he's doing is shameful.
You had concerns about his presence on the committee in the first place.
Sorry?
You had concerns about his presence on the committee in the first place. Do you feel justified by his actions?
No. I never had a concern. We were very elated to see a former Auditor General on the committee. We were very much, because some of the issues raised, which are then filtered into the public domain, have to do with financial impropriety. And we thought that once he's there, he will understand it better. And let me tell you, that we are highly disappointed, and I mentioned him not because I was taking a swipe at him. No, I was saying that he was the one that we all had so much confidence in him that he would understand and explain to his people that when an audit query is raised And then the person is given opportunity to explain, as in this matter. And then the judicial secretary, the spending officer, came and explained for which reason the thing never found its way into the management letter. That closes the matter. This is what we went through, and we had confidence in we understand. Then they left and went and wrote a report saying that she was not entitled to that expenditure. That is why I mentioned him in particular. And I didn't talk about the others. Do you now understand?
Right, perfectly understood. Now, the allegation he makes is quite a serious one, considering your pedigree as a lawyer and having been a public servant before. Do you have any intentions on either proving more to the general public or taking this up further?
Well, the opportunity that has been given to me by various media houses to explain is, as a first step, very laudable. And I'm so happy and grateful that we have been given the opportunity to explain and to expose him for who he is. Somebody who, on the day of going to present the report, wrote that the strife is over, the battle is done. So he did not go there to look at the evidence. He was only interested in seeing somebody that must be removed by all means, and he saw it as a strike. At the end of the day, the battle was done. So he did not. That's why I'm saying that. For me, it is disgraceful. All the things he's doing up to today is very, very disgraceful.
I'm grateful for your time, Lawyer GHOne, and Lawyer GHOne is counsel for the dismissed CJ. He represented her before the committee that looked into petitions demanding her removal, and you just heard him responding to claims by the current board chairman of YOCO, who is also a member of that committee, Daniel Domelevo, saying that Mr. GHOne presented fake document. He said that is not the case and only explained what exactly the document was and what it was meant to prove. But still on the former Auditor General, Daniel Domelevo, he has expressed concern over the slow pace at which the Office of the Attorney General is handling corruption-related cases, particularly under the Operation Recover All Loot, that's oral. According to him, the delays in retrieving stolen public funds risk eroding public trust in government's commitment to fighting corruption. He emphasized the need for urgent reforms and stronger enforcement mechanisms to ensure that justice is served and public resources are protected.
If you follow the briefing that the Attorney General has been given, a lot of work is going on. Will you ask, are you satisfied? I'll say no, I am not satisfied. There are some basics that must be in place to give us the assurance that we are going to win this war. Those basics, I'm not seeing them. What are those basics? One, the legal framework. It has remained largely the same. And you see, if you are going to fight corruption, and you must prove beyond reasonable doubt that the person stole money. Corruption is not done in the opening. It's not like murder, stealing, etc. that there are a lot of aggrieved persons and evidence for you to establish. Corruption is also not done by people who are as daft as me. It's very intellectual people who understand the process, who know how to use it without leaving even audit trail. In fact, the prayer of the corporates and their lawyers is that there should be a change in government. Then you hear nolli prosequa and etc. and our money is gone. Okay? So I expect that this should be in place by now, so that the court will be told that, look, corruption cases, 6 months maximum, you must finish it. We are treating people with kid gloves, and we don't even want to call it theft. It is only when somebody takes $2 Ghana cedis or 10 Ghana cedis from somebody's shop or in the house. Oh, it's a thief. But these big ones who are still, we don't even want to call it theft. We say misappropriation and whatnot. Leakages.
And that'll be all for Insight. When I come back, I'll be telling you more about why Parliament has postponed its recall. Alban Gbagwin has postponed the commencement of the third meeting of the first session of the 9th Parliament. The session, which was scheduled to resume on October 14, has been suspended until further notice. A statement from the Speaker's office issued Monday, October 6, 2025, attributed the decision to circumstances beyond his control without providing further details. The development means Parliament will remain in recess after lawmakers, and even as lawmakers were preparing to deliberate on key matters, including the presentation of the 2026 budget and other major policy discussions. A new date for resumption is yet to be announced. Our parliamentary affairs correspondent Ibrahim Al-Hassan joins via Zoom for more on this. IB, I'm sure we've been trying to do some digging, right? What do we know to be the exact reason for this postponement?
Well, so what we know for a fact is that this came as a surprise to virtually everybody, I must say, Bernice. And so you are aware that the Attorney General, in his address to the nation during the Galamsey dialogue, had assured civil society organizations and also the country at large that come 14th of October, which is a few days away, the controversial LI 2462 will be repealed. That assurance was hinged on the fact that Parliament was expected to resume sitting on that particular day. And so this came as a surprise. What I know for a fact is that it has something to do with the preparedness of Parliament to resume sitting financially, right? And so because of what Speaker put out, I'm aware, and I can say that on authority, that there are many backroom engagement in ensuring that circumstances that the Speaker referred to in his circular, that was beyond his control, he's empowered enough to be in control of that particular development. And so, Bernice, you and viewers, don't be surprised if in no time there's another communication from the Speaker now announcing a definite time for resumption of Parliament, if not the exact original date, which is 14th of this month, then expect something closer to that. Mind you, per the constitutional provision, the Speaker is enjoined to give 2 weeks notice to members of Parliament before a recall. And so if you have to go by that, then that means that we might have a week extension because 2 weeks ago, the Speaker announced that on the 14th, members of Parliament were supposed to return to work. And then as of yesterday, he had scattered that announcement and indefinitely. I'm talking about the resumption will be done indefinitely, meaning that the Speaker, I'm talking about the announcement by the Speaker that the House will resume sitting as and when the Speaker, cannot tell. Bernice. So there are a number of outstanding issues. I've already talked about the controversial LI. Let me talk about other things that this Parliament, when sitting resumes, is expected to attend to.
Quickly.
One is the Finance Minister. He's expected to present the 2026 budget, right? The other one is the Chief Justice, who has been in acting capacity for a while. Yes, he's been nominated, but then Parliament Appointment Committee will have to attend to him, after which a report will be put together and presented to the plenary for his approval, of course, which is obvious because of the numbers the NDC has in the chamber now. So these are the outstanding issues, including many other things that the government will want addressed by Parliament before the final break for the year. Mind you, the deportees matter is lingering as well.
Right.
The deportees from the US, I must be specific.
Right. Ibrahim Al-Hassan there giving us details from Parliament, and so we will be keeping you up to speed. Hopefully we'll hear that Parliament will be resuming shortly in light of the very important matters that need attention. Away from Parliament, the National Service Authority, NSA, has announced that online registration for the 2025-2026 batch of prospective National Service personnel will officially commence on Wednesday, October 8. Addressing the media, Acting Director General Ruth Della Cedro explained the registration exercise will last for 1 week, ending on Wednesday, October 15. She added national service for all personnel will officially begin Monday, November 3.
The new posting system has been rebuilt to make every stage of the process seamless, more transparent, and easier to manage. Service personnel will still complete the familiar steps of PIN retrieval, Ghana card verification, posting, and allowance tracking. But now, through one seamless and secure digital platform, every user would have a personalized dashboard displaying their posting details, institution information, duty reports, and a certificate embedded with a QR code, for instance, verification. I'm very happy to announce that the online registration portal is ready to commence the process of registration for all new registrants for the 2025-2026 service year. The online registration starts from Wednesday, 8th October 2025 and ends on Wednesday, 15th October 2025. All prospective national service personnel are now required to log on to www.gnsa.gov.gh. The system is designed to resist attacks from dishonest agents, but prospective service personnel should be vigilant in finding the correct website for registration.
To some other stories now. Ghana has launched a revised gender toolkit aimed at making development planning more inclusive and gender responsive. The gender toolkit is designed to guide sector and district medium-term development plans from 2026 to 2029.
A revised gender toolkit provides clear definitions of gender concepts, practical tools. A revised gender toolkit provides clear definitions of gender concepts, practical tools, and step-by-step guidance to ensure that issues affecting women, youth, persons and disabilities, and other vulnerable groups are fully addressed in national and local budgets. Director General of the National Development Planning Commission, Dr. Audrey Smoke Amwa, described the toolkit as a practical guide that reaffirms Ghana's constitutional commitment to equity and justice. She said it will help reduce barriers to participation and strengthen sustainable development.
It was a good thing that the tool has been developed into detail and a step-by-step approach as to how to mainstream gender into their planning process, budgeting process, and every circle of the planning process so that gender can come out, not just about women, it's about everybody, it's about men, it's about women, it's about girls, about boys. So when they do a serious, specific...
A health facility in the Upper East region that once made headlines for broken hospital beds today received a lifeline through international partnerships. Philanthropist Dr. Desmond Bugabila has donated essential medical equipment and consumables to the Binaba Health Center in the Bawku West District.
The Binaba Health Center in the Bawku West District has received a significant boost following the donation of hospital equipment and medical supplies worth thousands of cedis. The gesture, initiated by Dr. Desmond Bugbila in collaboration with Penn Med Lancaster General Hospital and International Pathways Education Consultants, was made possible through the Danworth Foundation in Ghana.
When you enter into the wards and you see how people are lying on the floor, the things couldn't have come at a better time than than this.
The donation was inspired by a viral video earlier this year that showed a damaged hospital bed at the facility, a scene that sparked widespread public concern. Dr. Bukbila said that the incident moved him deeply and motivated his intervention, emphasizing that quality health care is a right and not a privilege.
We are like ambassadors to Zebila as we are over there. So whatever good thing that you think you can get and bring back home, why not? These are just donations that he brought to support our people after I spoke with him.
The physician assistant in charge of the center, Abdul Ghaffar Draman, expressed gratitude for the gesture but appealed for additional support.
It has always been a problem. The person who always watch it, always even complain. We send our cries to so many people, but today I'm very happy. Some benevolent individuals have come to donate this good number of beds to us.
The chief of Benaba, Naba Godwin Asambila Apabum III, praised Dr. Bukbila's generosity and called on other well-meaning individuals to emulate his example.
It's now time for business news updates on News Tonight.
The Business Brief is brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
Now, the Bank of Ghana says its third policy rate cut in 2025 by 350 basis points to 21.5% reflects renewed confidence that inflation will remain within the medium-term target band of 8 plus or minus 2% by the end of the fourth quarter. During a meeting with chief executives of commercial banks, Governor Dr. Johnson Esiama explained the central bank remains alert to potential risks, including global oil price volatility and possible adjustments in utility tariffs. He assured that the Bank of Ghana stands ready to act decisively to safeguard macroeconomic stability, urging commercial banks to adjust their lending rates to reflect the current monetary policy.
The easing in policy rates has already started to transmit through the financial system, and we are seeing signs of that. Treasury bill rates have declined from 13.4% in July to 10.3% in August. And average lending rates are down from 26.6% to 24.2%. We expect further improvement as banks realign their pricing models to reflect the easing stance. And in the same spirit, I want to urge banks to adhere to domestic regulatory provisions. The use of local insurance companies for import coverage. We also expect banks to take active steps toward public listing. This will enhance capital strength, this will enhance transparency, and this will promote long-term growth prospects. Our collective responsibility now is to sustain this discipline. We have to strengthen the financial system further, and we have to ensure that stability translates into jobs, translates into affordable credit, and translates into real growth for households and businesses.
Now, the Energy Commission says it will commercialize innovations under its Renewable Energy Challenge. Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, Legon, emerged winners of the 6th edition of the Energy Commission's Senior High School Renewable Energy Challenge. Under the theme, Sustainable Energy for a Healthier Future, this year's competition focused on food security, waste management, and health delivery. PRESEC outshone 5 finalists with their AI-powered health port, a self-diagnostic and pharmacy system that operates without a physical doctor or nurse. There's more in the following report.
The 6th edition of the Energy Commission SHS Renewable Energy Challenge began with 120 schools across the country, but only 6 made it to the grand finale. From the Ahafo region, Ola Girls Senior High School built a smart farm to boost local rice production. In the northern region, Dabokpa Technical Institute developed a solar-powered baby incubator to help reduce maternal mortality. Ahantaman Girls Senior High School in the Western region presented vaccine coolers designed to preserve essential drugs during pandemics. Damango Senior High School from the Savannah region introduced a bioplastic power machine that manufactures degradable plastic to curb waste pollution. And from the Volta region, Adidoma Senior High School showcased a segregation smart bin, an AI-powered waste management solution. But it was Presec Legon, representing the Greater Accra region, that claimed the top spot with their health port, an artificial intelligence-enabled system capable of diagnosing patients and dispensing medications independently.
As a matter of fact, this is our fifth appearance at the competition. And I think over time we've come here so many times, we've put in so much effort. And so definitely the amount of effort we have put in is definitely shown today. In the research, we realized that there's a significant problem with health delivery, even in urban areas and in rural areas. Right? And so in urban areas, you have the problem of congestion. In rural areas also, you have the problem of low medical staff. And so when we pondered over the problem, that is what gave us the idea to create something, our project, which we call the Health Port.
Cementing the runner-up position was Ahantaman Girls Senior High School with their vaccine cooler innovation. They appealed for support from government and NGOs to commercialize their projects.
I would like to say a very big thank you because you have given us a platform to really show our innovative minds and show what we can make and what we can create. I hope they can commercialize all our prototypes and turn them into working models that can be sent out to the markets.
Acting Executive Secretary of the Energy Commission, Eunice Birichum, commended all finalists and reaffirmed the Commission's commitment to commercializing all 6 innovations.
Indeed, these innovations are not just ideas. They are potential solutions that can accelerate Ghana's energy transition. With respect to our partnership with CSIR, we shall consider developing all the projects presented here today and commercialize the very best ones, not just the winning project. This will enable us to bridge the gap between academia and industry.
The challenge, teamed Sustainable Energy for a Healthier Future, awarded Presec Legon a cash prize of $220.
That report was brought to you by Calvin Powell, ending our business news brief tonight. Up next is sports.
The business brief was brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
Kwame and his uncle.
Begin with our team, the Black Stars, who are currently in Morocco preparing for the crucial game. And today, just some few minutes ago, they trained at the match venue for the game tomorrow between Ghana and CAR in the make or break for the Stars. About 20 players currently in camp, and they all train this evening ahead of the game tomorrow at 4 p.m. And clearly, for Ghana, it is a must-win for Ghana in a game tomorrow at 4 p.m. against our opponents, that's CAR. And ahead of the game, my colleague Monica Bukari, who is in Morocco, will be getting us a lot more updates on the wings of course, that's travels, more updates on the Black Stars and the training ahead of the game, which is coming up tomorrow. There are stars on your shorts now, training today, around 4 p.m. at the match venue tomorrow. So expect a huge encounter for Ghana in a game tomorrow. In a game Ghana needs to win to have 1 foot in the Mundial fixed for next year. And they have only a full squad as it stands now in Morocco ahead of the game against CAR. Now to the other story, and of course, President Mahama today has met the winning squad from UDS who went to China and won the FISA University Games that was held some few weeks ago. Let's take a listen to how things panned out at the presidency this afternoon.
The story of your victory can be termed from Tamale to the world stage. You said the university is partly in Sanergo and partly in Tamale South. So from Tamale to the world stage, this perfectly embodies the spirit of the reset agenda. Ghana rising through discipline, opportunity, and excellence. And so let me once again congratulate Professor Alassane, the Vice Chancellor, your academic team and management team, congratulate the UDS community and all who supported the team on this journey. You brought glory to Ghana and renewed the faith in the power of young people, education, and sports to transform lives. Carry this, your victory, with humility. Let it inspire others to dream boldly and work hard.
Like I said, we'll be getting you more updates from our colleague Monica Bukari in Morocco regarding the Black Stars on the wings of Adanse Travel. So that's it for sports. Up next is international.
And on the international front, Madagascar's embattled President Andry Rajoelina has appointed an army general as the new prime minister in a bid to end youth-led protest against his rule. Trust before naming General Rufin Fortunat